Hi, I'm Rick.
What's up, Rick?
I called about the eggs. You said there were 700.
700?
700, the 2-pack, the 2 dozen pack?
700 for eggs?
Yeah.
Maybe in a
There's
worse
700
world.
left. Remember I called you this morning? I said, how many eggs you got? You got 700.
You didn't talk to me.
It wasn't you?
No, sir.
I got you. I called you.
Wait, hold on. Make sure you get my good side, brother.
All right.
There you
can
go.
Keep it though.
All right. Thank you, brother.
It's 3 o'clock and look, they had 700 when I called. I got 10 dozen eggs. My cameras are going off because I have the Jackery. Jack. Yo, Jack. Yo. So actually I got a couple notifications while I was in the store. Somebody was driving, they were walking way over there and I still got them on the doorbell cam. Okay, so where are we? Riverbank, California. Okay, so it's been open a year. It looks kind of new because it's the only thing around here and they're building another something over there. It's like this huge shopping center. Okay, this is what I got. 5 2 dozen packages. Okay, they're in the sun. I got to put them in. But this is what else I got. I'm going to show you now because I'm not going to show you later. Okay, we got the guacamole. We got 2 things of burgers. We got, these are nice. Put them in the freezer if I have room for them. And then the berries. Look at this new stuff. Huh? What do you think? It wasn't a bad price. It wasn't a bad price. 2 of these, 2 of these, 1 of these. Ow. These are actually pretty, no, they're not that great, but convenient, I should say. I got my organic almond butter. I got 2 of these. Those are for my smoothies. This is really good on the burgers. And then I got mangoes. Everything's organic. And I got organic ginger that's good in the smoothies. These are for my blank cameras. Look at this. This is new. The only thing that's in there is organic artificial, no, it says organic natural flavors. What the hell is that? Organic natural what? That'll hurt later. Okay, this is a 3-pack for like $8. Apple cider vinegar. That goes in the smoothie. And in the morning with some warm water and some salt. I think that's all we got right now. I gotta put it in the freezer. Okay, it's 10 to 9. We're at Flying J truck stop. A lot of people might not know this, but this is the gas station area here. Okay, you can see all that. Well, these 1, 2, 3, 4, they have an RV dump. See right here? RV dump. You go in there. Here's the water. Okay, $10. It costs $10. There is a Flying J frequent flyer or whatever you call it card where you go in and sometimes there's discounts. They also have propane. Today they don't have propane. There's something wrong with it. But guess what? Right across the street is Love's, another truck stop. I was told that they do have propane. I think I'm going to get propane tomorrow because it's getting dark and I don't know. I got errands to do. I probably should get it right here. But anyway, back to dumping. This says right here, danger, unsafe water. Use this hose to flush holding tanks and drain receptors only. So there's usually a hose at a dump station, and that hose obviously is flushing tanks, and it's inside of the sewer hoses. We got a couple of stray dogs here. I don't know, maybe they're not stray. Basically, I hooked up my hose there. I wouldn't hook up, the threads didn't work, so I used my bandit, my water bandit. Remember I told you about that? So I did use that. That hose is going to be for not so clean water. There's some tablets that I'm going to get to put in the water tank. And as you were told before, I don't drink the water that's in here. There's 40-gallon tank right here. That's for flushing the toilet, doing dishes, washing hands, taking showers. Bacteria in there, that's what the chlorine tablets are going to do to prevent anything from happening in there. And once a year you're supposed to flush the tanks and then add chlorine and chlorinize, disinfect the water tanks and water lines. Water lines, water tank, the whole thing. I had to get this dump hose. One of these bins I have funnels, I have hoses, I have fittings, and I have this extra hose. After I dump my tanks, I close the valves, and then I put in maybe a half a bucket. That's maybe 2 to 3 gallons of water in the black tank, and that way there's some water in there, so you have not just solids, and you don't have to use so much water when you flush your toilet. That gives you a little bit of water. But when I went to Yosemite, I didn't put any water in there because I knew that I wanted to have just as much room as I could in the black tank. All right. No parking overnight. Okay, so what I did was, I'm gonna talk to you now. I'm looking around to see what's going on. This is a huge shopping center, okay? Walmarts, they don't always have or let you park an RV. Let's check this wind noise. I'm getting a camera. I'm actually gonna be talking to the big guy, Mr. J-Dog. Johnny, my brother Johnny, computer software engineer. This guy knows everything. If he doesn't know everything, he's gonna find it out. But got some questions for him, and one of them is his camera. I got noise issues with the wind, and I want to get a cordless mic. That's the generator. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Walmart's, they used to say, hey, park your RV here, park overnight. You know, they usually have a section for you to do that. But that got out of hand, and a lot of homeless people and a lot of riffraff and a lot of, you know, taking up parking spots and parking wherever, you know, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of Walmarts, they changed their mind. So it was told, and it's all over the internet, where if you're traveling, you can go to a Walmart, you can go inside, talk to the manager, say, hey, is it okay that I park here for a night? Usually they'll say yes in a certain area. Then you know that you're safe, but doesn't mean you're not going to get a knock on the door. So last night what I did, I was going to Cracker Barrel. That's about another 30 minutes up north to Sacramento. And I was there before. Look at my truck while we're doing this. Okay, so I went to Cracker Barrel, and I was next to a tire shop there, and I didn't want to go on the other side of Cracker Barrel where there was more parking because it was dark. They didn't have lights there. And, you know, I don't know if that was a good neighborhood or not, but it was by myself. Anyways, I parked near the tire shop. At about 5:30 in the morning, I got a knock on the door. It was the tire shop manager. They didn't open for another hour, but they're like, hey, what are you doing here? You need some service? You know, like, you know, why are you parking, taking 6 of my parking spots? They had plenty of parking. They just wanted to say, hey, can you park somewhere else? So I learned something. I came through here. I didn't want to drive the other 30 minutes to Cracker Barrel, and I went to the security guy. There's the security guy driving around, getting dizzy with the lights on, okay? I asked him, hey, is it okay if I park here just for one night, you know, for a few hours, you know, so I can do some shopping in the morning, you know, basically, all right? He goes, yeah, go over there. So this was way over there. Maybe I'll show you later. Way over there, there's a huge parking lot over there. This is the side parking lot. This is Walmart over here. This is some other store. I've never heard of that. But anyway, so I was able to park here, no issues. And let's check the generator. So as I'm charging my Jackery, I'm gonna go into Walmart. I got a list of a bunch of things that I wanna get. Anyways, so as you can see, I don't know what the security guard said, because I drove by him and he said something about, yeah, over there. And then he said something else, like, I don't know if that meant only until a certain time, or maybe one night, 2 nights, I don't know. So I parked off to the side, okay, to the back, right, facing this way, and not in a back corner where I'm like hidden, okay, because I don't know how many of these trucks were going to be here in the morning. So the slide is not all the way out, but I could then put the slide out because I'm not, you know, there's nobody going to be driving by the side, okay? In The other thing is I have my camera, my backup camera, the doorbell camera and the other backup camera facing the front, okay? Right down here where I can see all this. Not only I can see all the action and what's going on here, but also they can see me. Walmart Atlas, this was $7.97 when I bought it in 2019. Now they are about 25 bucks. What's good about these is they show you all the Walmarts and you can see your destination. You can mark them. Now remember, you got to check and see if they let you overnight park. And you can maybe put a mark on the ones that do. Anyways, last night I saw a picture of a cat, a feral cat on my truck. You know what I did? Right here. I put some bear spray on the tires, all 4 tires, and around the bottom to try to prevent them from climbing around and snooping around. And I have nothing that they would take, but I don't want them scratching the paint. Okay, the batteries that I got at COSCO, about 80 bucks each. They last for 12 months. These batteries that I have here, they're about 1.5 years old, and I didn't use them. I was plugged in for the most of the year. I maybe went on a 2-week trip. So they still don't last. Even if you don't drain them and recharge them, drain them, recharge them, they still only last about 1 year. So these are 1.5 years, and how I found out was I'm driving, which charges the batteries. I'm using the generator, which charges the batteries. And then after that, I noticed my lights are flickering after maybe a half hour. So good batteries, these 2 batteries, I should be able to, once they're fully charged, which doesn't take that long, I should be able to last 3 days. Okay, that's it. So there's the old batteries, super duper, whatever they are. And these are the new batteries. Now, yeah, I got a few things plugged in here. Make sure you do the ground first and don't touch. I had a crescent wrench. Don't touch this. When you're tightening that bolt, don't touch that side with this. I touched actually the positive, and I touched here at the same time, and I got a little bit of spark. It's not gonna hurt. It's just a little spark, but you could surge something. Now these protectors, the covers, don't forget those. Also, these are in a case with a cover. It's always good to protect them. These are not maintenance free. You need to put distilled water in there if it goes low. So you might want some on hand, but by the time they were low, it was time to replace them. So it wasn't that low. Basically, and then when you put the covers on them, make sure these wires aren't pinched. You got them off to the side and they're not like poking straight out where you're gonna crimp them. I'm going into Walmart, but I'm not sure I want to leave my RV here. I was gonna think that over on the other side where the big parking lot is, in the back of over there, there's more people that would maybe watch it, because somebody could come in behind here. Ain't nobody gonna see them. There are some people over here, but I kind of prefer, even though I got the cameras on, when I'm inside the store, that I know that, you know, people can see what's going on or what's not going on. You know what I'm saying? So, here we go. So before I went to the store, I wanted to make sure that the satellite was working and the cameras are working. But look, the satellite is still trying to find a signal because of the tree. So thank you so much for watching. And now some clips of our next episode and possibly some bloopers. And you know, if you're coming with me, don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you. God bless. So look. Oh yeah. That's the Jackery, whatever, 1,000, another 1,000. So look at this.
So what is that?
Look at this right here.
What?
What?
And we need
Yeah,
to,
this thing is
we don't
badass.
have
I need one of
power.
these. I need one of these, baby.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But hang on.
I'm gonna order it right now.
Sit down so you can get on camera saying, Richie's got this shit, bro.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't. I don't.
Hey, but wait a minute.
I
That
never
was on
want one of
sale.
those.
That was on sale, $150 off at Costco. It's not on sale anymore. But guess what? Kyle's got the bigger one. Okay, so there's two things about your questions that I have for you. See how loud that is?
Yeah.
When I'm sitting here and I'm relying on the power, it's like in my face. It goes up and down, but I'm like, but I don't want to put it. So look, I got room to put it.
You need to be careful though for venting. It needs
I
to
know.
get plenty of air.
Okay.